Hey everyone, welcome back to Homegrown Passion. So we've had a lot of questions about how to do microgreens for the average person in their home, not in my commercial greenhouse. So I'm going to show you how I do them up at my house, or sometimes I grow them back here, and it's really easy to do. I'll go step by step and do all the components for you, and we'll list everything down below so you know what to buy, and you can do your own shopping and research. And sometimes you can find some of the supplies better at your local garden center, so you just have to compare prices. So I'll take you through step by step. So one of the main reasons that everybody likes to grow microgreens is because they are so nutrient rich. They're very dense in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. And it's great for inflammation, helps reduce chronic diseases. It can even help with weight loss. It just makes you feel really good when you start eating nice, healthy microgreens. And the reason they are so healthy is, they're compact in size. The plant's just starting to grow. So everything's all in one little place. And it's a nice little plant, and these things are awesome on sandwiches, in soup, and I love them in my salads, of course. That's the best way to eat them. And one of the best things for me to do in the morning, nothing better than a farm fresh egg with a handful of spicy micro mix on top of it. So the reason for microgreens in your house is they're so easy to grow, and they're a short-term crop. I mean, most of them are done in 2 weeks. Now, if you want to grow lettuce, that's going to take you a good 8 weeks. So if you want something fresh in the wintertime, you can just grow these and they're ready in 2 weeks, like I just said. And it's a lot easier and a lot more cost effective to do, because if you want to grow lettuce, you do need a system to do it. You need all the lights and everything to go with it, and the air circulation. And with the microgreens, you just need a few components here, which I'll go over, and you're started and ready to go. So another good reason for microgreens in your house is, you know how the economy, with inflation, everything costs so much more at the grocery store. Everything you can do at home is so much better for you. I grow these just for us. I don't sell them at the farmer's market or to my CSA program. These are just for us, because there's other companies out there that are way bigger than I am and have the whole facility to do mass-produced microgreens. I just do them on our small scale for us, and it's something you can do at your house, and it supplements what you buy at the grocery store, and the more you can grow at home, the better it is. So now I'm going to go over the components you need. This is what I use. I'm a little bit different setup because some of my trays are like 8 years old, so I'm still recycling them and using them. So you need a dome cover, and you need a tray to put your mat in. And what I also do is I have these top dome covers, which I like to use because they're heavier duty than the 1020 trays, rather the black plastic. Mine always get little holes in the ends here. So I'm going to go ahead and put the trays I'm going to use for the seeding inside these domes so I don't leak water all over the place. So that's one of the components. Next thing you need, of course, is your seeds. And I always get mine, like you guys probably know, from Johnny's Seeds. So I'm going to do 2 different batches here, and I'll show you about the seeds here in a second. Let me move on to more components. And the other is the Bio Strate mats that go into the 1020 trays. These are cut specifically for these trays. I'm going to have to order some more. I'm getting low on them. And they fit perfectly in each one of the trays. You see, as you can see, they fit in there perfectly. And then the other thing you're going to need is a way to water it, and a water mister is the best thing to do. Like I said, Doug's and I are going to put some links down below for what you need to get. And another thing I wanted to tell you about microgreens, which I'm sure some people are going to ask, what about nutrients? I am going to use some nutrient water that I use for my lettuce formula, but microgreens actually don't need nutrients because you're just sprouting the seed, and there's enough in the seed there to get it sprouted and up to however high you want to make it. But if you want a denser crop, go ahead and put a little bit of nutrients in, and I'll talk about more of that in a little bit. What I'm going to plant today in one tray are some herb type microgreens. One is cilantro, which is amazing in the microgreen stage, and then the other one is, oh, here it is the Genevieve basil. And when this is in the microgreen stage, it's so flavorful. It actually, to me, has like a licorice flavor, so it's kind of cool when you're making a fresh pizza and you spread some on there. And of course, the cilantro is really good on any type of Mexican dish or guacamole in that sense. Avocado prices have come down a little bit. So these two guys, they are 16 to 25 days in germination to harvest. So I'm going to put those 2 in the same tray. And then the other tray, I'm going to do a spicy mix, which has some mizuna and mustard greens in it. And these take 10 to 15 days. And then one of my all-time favorites is red radish stems. And they are really good. And they have another one that takes 10 to 15 days. So these 2 will go in one tray, and the herbs will go in another tray, so it's easier to harvest. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my Bio Strate, dip it into some nutrient water that I brought in from the greenhouse. And it, like I said, it is my lettuce formula, so you want to get this saturated but not totally wet. Just make sure it's nice and soaked but not dripping, because you don't want your seeds to get too wet or else they'll get moldy. So I spread that out in the mat here. You get the other one here. Just kind of dip it in there. You can use regular water if you want to. Like I said, it doesn't need nutrients, but I've found in the past when I've done using my lettuce formula, it has been a big difference. So I wonder for the homeowner, if, you know, for you guys out there that don't have access to all kinds of nutrients, if a little bit of Miracle-Gro on a light diluted basis would probably work for your microgreens here. So I have the mats all wetted down in here in the tray, so you can see how they look here. I'm going to start with the spicy mix from Johnny Seeds. I know they offer it in 1 ounce packages, but I wouldn't recommend doing that because 1 ounce would just maybe do a tray. I usually see it a little bit heavier using the Bio Strate, but it's cheaper if you buy a little bit larger quantity if you keep on doing this week after week. So you want to not waste your money by buying just one little tiny ounce that will only last for one time. So what I do is I use my little seeder here and dip it in here, just like I do the ones out in the greenhouse, and I just kind of sprinkle the seeds on here. So I'm doing half a tray with the spicy mix and the other half with the radish. That looks like pretty good coverage for me. Put the rest back in the bag here. Now I'll get the radish. Now the radish I'm going to hand seed because these guys are a little bit bigger, so it'll be a little bit easier for me to hand seed. So here. See if you guys can see. See, they're a bigger seed there. So I'll just kind of sprinkle them in here. Yeah, it looks pretty good for those. Now you always have to remember, you never want to top water your seeds. You want to make sure you always mist them or bottom water them. Because you imagine just pouring some water in there, all your seeds are going to scatter about and you won't have any in the middle where the water was. So make sure you always use the mister. And since I got these guys in the wet mat here, I am going to go ahead and mist them a little bit. Oops. Make sure it's on mist. There we go. And get everybody nice and saturated, but not overly saturated. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And I'm going to cover them up then until they germinate. And then once they do, I'll take the cover off, and depending how humid it is in here, I'll put a humidity dome over them or just leave them out like this. And then every day I'll check them because you don't want the seeds to get dry, because if they get a little bit dry, the crop's done. So you got to make sure they stay moist all the time. You may even have to mist them a couple times, especially here in the wintertime. It's so hot in here with the gas furnace going and low humidity, so you just want to make sure they keep nice and moist. So I was talking about the different sizes and weights you can buy from Johnny Seeds. You know, you can buy an ounce, a quarter pound, or a pound. So this bag here is 1 pound. You can tell it's pretty big there. This is a quarter pound, not so big, which is a lot better to buy. For us, being just growing them for Doug and I don't keep them too long, and it's a little bit easier to store this envelope in the refrigerator. But if you want to do mass production, get the bigger bag. So the first I'm going to do is the Genovese micro basil. And you know, you got the little basil seeds, the little black guys. You know how when basil starts getting wet, it gets white. So I'm going to go ahead and get these guys seeded on this side. And I've had good success freezing the basil. You just take it, put it on a cookie sheet in your freezer on parchment paper, and once it freezes, put it in a plastic bag and stick it in the freezer again. And anytime you want to use it, just take the bag out, scrunch up as much as you need, then put it back in the freezer. It lasts for a while. Okay, so there's the basil. Next I'm going to do is, where's my cilantro? The cilantro. And the cilantro seeds are a little bit bigger, like the radishes were. And these guys smell so good. Wish you guys could smell it, but yeah, there's the seeds. So I'm going to seed these ones again. Now for the germination, the spicy and the radish over there that I just seeded, those will be germinated about 3 to 4 days. Now the cilantro and the basil take a lot longer, so you're just going to have to check them on a daily basis. If I remember correctly, last time I did them, it took almost 7 days before they were germinated and I could take the humidity dome off of them. Okay, I think that's enough there. So got those all seeded. I'm going to mist them down. Get these little pump sprayers at RKO, but I know there's a link on Amazon you can get them at too if you don't have a Rural King by you. Get these guys nice and wetted down. Okay, I'll go ahead and put the humidity dome and keep them here in the head house nice and warm and check them every day. So this is just the first part of this video, and I'm going to go step by step so you guys get an idea of what it looks like as you're moving along in the process of growing the microgreens. Wanted to show you guys the new area that Doug did for my microgreens here. Got a nice little table and some lights set up here in the control tunnel. And remember, you can grow microgreens anywhere. You can grow them in the basement, you can grow them in your kitchen, in a bedroom, in a grow tent. There's all kinds of possibilities. But this is the best place for us. They're out of the way, tucked away a little bit, and we had all the electrical stuff here, so he went ahead and set this up for me, and it's working really good. I'm going to have Doug come in. I'm going to go grab him and have him come in and talk about these lights that he set up for me because they're really cool.
So you know, on the channel we don't really promote too many products, but I really wanted to talk about this one. We got a new light from Haus Bright, and we used one of their older ones, but their new one we got is one that you can schedule the light to go on and off with a phone app. It also changes color between red and blue, and it's got a schedule on it. So this is all Bluetooth enabled light, grow light, and it works really, really well. I'm going to put a link in it down in the description below. But so all I did was we went and I got these little metal containers here from Walmart. I think they were like $6. You can tell that the light's not hot at all. We're not getting any heat dispersion through this. It's got a really nice, you'll see when you see these lights, they're really cool. But yeah, just $6. It's got a little clamp on it right here, so you can clip it on anything that you want, and you can just put it in, shine it down on the plants, and it works really well. So I've got these coming on at 6 in the morning and going off at 9 at night. Right now the color I'm using is right in the middle, just pure white. You could put it for blue, which would be more vegetative, or red, which would be more flowering. So if you wanted to use these lights for flowers or for any other plants that you're growing, it would work really well. I've seen some of these used in some grow tents also, so that's kind of a neat idea. But yeah, all you have to do is get a light like this and you can grow these microgreens. So we're going to harvest these right now. These are ready to go. So this is the app that comes with the Haus Bright system. What's neat about it is that it also gives us an opportunity to look at what's going on outside and humidity. So that's our temperature right now. And then to load the app, you just press the button. And it's really neat. You can see that you can turn it off and back on. I'm going to go ahead and change the color of the light bulb right now. I'll go to blue and then to red. So you can see it's pretty easy to do. And then it also has a dimmer on it. So right now I'm running it at 76%. You can't take it up to 100 or down to 10. So look, you can just like that. See that? And then the neat thing about it is it's also got a schedule. So you go to the schedule, and I just have it on coming at 6 o'clock in the morning and going off at 9 o'clock at night. You can also put it on a timer, so if you only wanted a certain amount of time, you can also do that. So this is the box that the light bulb came in, 3-in-1. Here's the app that I just showed you. It's a scan code for the app, which was really easy to install. Anybody can do it. And it's got some really nice features. Doesn't get hot, it doesn't use up a lot of electricity, and it's a full spectrum light. So
look at this wonderful tray of microgreens. They're exactly 15 days old today. Isn't that amazing how thick and lush they look? I actually don't want to cut them, but they're really good to eat. So we like them a little bit bigger. Like you said, you can cut them at 10 days or whatever you want. It's all up to your preference. We like them a little bit bigger, and I've actually let the spicy mix grow to about that tall. and cut them, you know, so they're about that big, and sold them as salad greens at the farm market a couple years back, and people loved them because it's really nice if you have like a bib salad and you add the little fluff to it and the different textures. It makes a beautiful salad. So I'm going to go ahead and start harvesting these. So first thing, before I cut these guys, I want to show you guys the roots, because you can always tell how healthy plants are by the roots. Look how cool that is, all nice and white. And look at this, no mold or algae in there. So the way I like to cut these is I just take a handful and I take my scissors, cut them, and plop them on my plate here. Got a little root on that one, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest the whole tray here, put it in bags, put it in the refrigerator, and they'll last for quite a few weeks in there. Oh, these are beautiful. Can't wait to have a salad tonight with these on top. Now, these are the spicy ones. Got a couple radish in there, but that's okay. So if you guys have chickens, take this out to them, let them peck at it. They'll get all the stems and all the roots off, and when they're done, put the Bio Strate in the compost pile and compost it away. So one of the questions I know I'm going to get is the cost of doing these microgreens in the 10-20 tray. So I went ahead and made some notes here with some numbers, so I want to get it right. So this is my cost, what I did today here. I used approximately 1 ounce of seeds in both sides of here. So, you know, a half ounce here and a half ounce there. Now you don't want to buy your microgreens by the ounce, because I was looking on the online. If you buy 1 ounce of seeds, it's $7.40. If you buy a quarter pound, it's like $11 and something. So it's more economical to buy a quarter pound of seeds than it is to do it by the ounce. And if you want to keep doing it over and over again, it just makes sense. So the cost I have in here, so for the seeds, it was $2.80 for that whole tray. The Bio Strate was 80 cents. So that's a total of $3.60 plus my time that I have in here. Just the materials that we use, not including the trays, but Doug's going to put a link for that. And then if you went to buy this at the farm market, so I weighed these guys out, I got 5 ounces between the two of these. And if you went to buy that at the farm market, it'd be anywhere between $12 and $16. So you got $12, $16 compared to $3.80. So it was really economical to grow these at home. So I hope you guys liked today's video on the microgreens. And like always, leave me any questions, comments, and suggestions down below. And we'll see you guys next video.